At it again, and yeah, it's getting ugly. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
Gang, it's official. This is beyond amazing. We now have the second poll in 2 weeks that shows Trump with a double-digit lead over Biden. This is extraordinary. According to the latest premise data poll, Trump is beating Biden by 10 points, 45 to 35. It's an astonishing poll, but hardly unique. I mean, Trump is up in virtually all the polls. In the latest Marquette poll, Trump is up by 3, 51 to 48, so he's winning the popular vote. The latest Messenger polling has Trump also up by 3. And in the Real Clear Politics aggregate polling, which averages out all the polls, Trump continues to slowly but surely expand his lead. And if you want to know why, you don't have to look any further than the latest Marquette poll. Look at this. Trump is crushing Biden in every single major issue, and I mean crushing him. So when asked who would handle the economy better, Trump beats Biden by 24 points, 52 to 28. Who would handle the southern border better? Again, Trump beats Biden by 24 points. I had to do a double take on that. Only 24 points on the southern freaking border? Who would handle inflation better? Trump beats Biden by 23 points, 50 to 27. Creating jobs, Trump by 19. Foreign relations, Trump by 5. That's only going to go up after this whole Israel crisis. So this is why they want him in jail, gang. He's crushing Biden. He's absolutely stomping Biden in all the major issues of the day. He's beating Biden by double digits. And make no mistake, there's no coming back from this. This is precisely why the Democrats are so freaked out. Historically, presidential approval rating only continues to sink in economic downturns, and no one has won re-election successfully with poll numbers lower than the mid-40s. Obama lowered the threshold to the mid-40s. He was able to pull it off against Romney with around 45% approval. But generally speaking, historically, you have to be around 50%. That's the historical threshold to get reelected. Biden's in the low 30s. Apart from the shenanigans that would make 2020 look like the most pristine election ever, Biden is not getting reelected. And more Democrats are openly admitting that. But it's what the never-Trumpers are admitting. That's absolute gold, gang. Wait until you see this. Speaking more and more anti-Trumpers, never-Trumpers, right, inside the Republican Party are now openly admitting that Trump is absolutely unstoppable. So, for example, the ultra-globalist Club for Growth, okay? These are the open borders, pro-China Club for Growth. They're admitting in an internal memo to their donors that after spending tens of millions of dollars on over 40 anti-Trump TV ads, they're admitting they just haven't lost. Those ads have actually had the opposite effect. They've only seen an increase in Trump support. There's been nothing less than a backlash against these elite ruling class dolts. Another example is a PAC known as the Republican Accountability.
Before he continues, I do want to say this. I think I can never think of the lady's name, the black lady who's like a Democrat strategist for the Democrat Party. I agree with her when she said Trump is something that we've never seen before. And I think the Democrat Party knows that and is started to realize that, and now the anti-Trumpers are realizing that as well. He's a force that politics has never seen before. You know, even Hillary said it in the video that we checked out, the interview where she said Trump supporters need to be deprogrammed, right? I believe she said that in that clip. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different clip, but some big Democrat said this recently. And they were like, how in the world are you going up in polls? Like, people aren't just going to turn away from them after the indictments and after this and after that. Like, they're shocked. They're in shock. And so, like I said, I expect things to get a lot worse. I expect things to get a lot crazier because the typical strategies that they have used in the past to kind of get rid of candidates, right, have not worked. The smears didn't work. The indictments have not worked. So what's next? Y'all let me know.
PAC. It's a group of former Trump supporters, but they're dedicated to now moving beyond the former president. You know, like Ann Coulter, poor bitter Ann Coulter. They've actually given up on their primary spending on millions of dollars in ads in Iowa because they've only seen Trump's numbers go up. I mean, he's crushing it in Iowa. He's crushing it in New Hampshire. Heck, gang, he is crushing it. He's crushing it by double digits over DeSantis in Florida. This is absolutely brutal. And again,
we checked that out yesterday. He's leading DeSantis by like 35 points in Florida, which I think says a whole lot. In DeSantis's backyard, in his own backyard, he can't even beat Trump. And it's not even close. We literally checked out that poll yesterday. Trump up by 35 in Florida. That is insane. Insane.
Have to be a genius to figure out what's going on here. As every one of these PACs explicitly demonstrate for all these other Republican candidates, you can't claim to be fighting the establishment all the while being supported and backed by the establishment. It's an utterly incoherent message for DeSantis. You can't claim to fight the establishment all the while being backed by the establishment. This is precisely what's sinking Ron DeSantis's campaign. Well, that frankly never got off the ground. This is what's sinking Nikki Haley. Trump, and receiving all the wrath of the establishment, this never-ending weaponized lawfare, Trump has demonstrated himself to be the true opponent of the establishment and the one most likely to bring the establishment down. Again, that's one of the reasons why his approval ratings keep going up every single time there's a new indictment.
Exactly. And that's why I said, I'm kind of happy that, there's so many indictments coming down on Trump, because it just shows that he's not a part of the establishment. Actually had someone who said that he was before, and I'm like, yeah, there's no possible way. Now, that was early on in the whole indictment situation. Actually, I should probably have another conversation and see if that person still feels that way. But I feel like a lot of people are waking up because of all of these indictments. Actually, I believe I showed you guys a clip of someone actually speaking to that specifically, how they've been woken up because of all the craziness going on. Yes, as a matter of fact, yes, I did put that in a video. I don't remember which video, though. Forgive me. If any of you remember that clip, let me know. But yeah, a former Democrat, had spoke to that fact right there, is that I woke up because I'm watching all of this happen. And if they're going after him this hard, he must have been doing something right. And with that being said, I will be voting for him. This is coming from a Democrat, not a Republican, not even an anti-Trumper Republican, right? Like, you might believe an anti-Trumper might, come back around, they're a Republican at the end of the day. They're just anti-Trump. No, that came from a Democrat saying that. And that's why I always say, man, I'm kind of happy that a lot of this wild stuff is going on, because it's waking a lot more people up. And at a certain point, when you've woken up enough people, when you've opened the eyes of enough folks, there's nowhere else for you to go in terms of the establishment. You're cornered. But the problem is that they did not predict this happening. And like I said, I believe it was Hillary. It was either Hillary, maybe Nancy. I want to say it was Hillary. Forgive me. I'm forgetting exactly who said it. But even the Democrat strategists as well, they did not see this coming. They did not expect this, because their strategy has always worked before. So I think they're kind of in a rock and a hard place at this point in time. They can't stop the indictments, right? Because that's going to look absolutely horrible. And the Republicans are going to look like the truth tellers all of a sudden, right? And it's going to tank. They just have to keep pushing forward and hope that they manage to get something out of this entire situation, because they've got no other choice. They can't turn back. It's most definitely, the end of their political careers and possibly their freedom. They'll all be thrown in jail. So yeah, I mean, I expect it, but we've got more polls as well to back up what Dr. Steve Turley was saying there. Big shout out to Dr. Steve Turley. Make sure you guys go show him some major love and support, by the way. But check out this.
The latest Fox poll shows Trump has expanded his lead with Republican voters. He's currently 47 points ahead of second-place Ron DeSantis. Todd Parra with me. Why do you think Trump has expanded his lead?
I think it's twofold. One, people do not like all the cases against Donald Trump. We all know that. But I think secondarily, people don't trust any of the candidates in their heart on either side to run our country more than Donald Trump. I think this poll is really bad news for everybody except Donald Trump. Obviously, people don't trust Joe Biden.
There you have it. Another poll. Now, that was a little bit of an older one. That was about a month old, I believe that was. But it still holds true. Nothing has changed. As a matter of fact, Trump has only gone up in the polls. Now we're seeing polls where Trump's up by 10 points in multiple polls. So, yeah, I don't see Trump losing this at all. And I know some people are going to say, well, this or that. And, I truly believe that he's outside of that margin. And you know what I mean. I can't exactly say it, but I truly believe he's outside of that margin. You guys got to remember, he lost by a total of, if I remember correctly, 40,000 votes over like 3 different states. 40,000. That's like this in the grand scheme of things. This 40K. I like I said, I truly believe he's outside of that margin. Well outside of it. Yeah. The only way Democrats win is if they just flat out take them off the ballot. That's the only way that they win at this point in time. But that's just my humble opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Big shout out to Dr. Steve Turley as well. I'm out.